Playing RoboCop prior to this. I thought it was Wednesday.
I thought it was Wednesday as well. Actually, Thursday. So we've got to do welcome to Ian Fortean in the voice.
Well, if you used my theme, it would be you doing it in your voice.
Oh.
I put that in the theme. Yeah. Have you actually ever listened to it?
Probably.
No.
I might make some collection because it's saying it's blank. No, it's alright, it's kicked in now. That's it, everything looks okay. Oh, I didn't start the... There's only ever one person that watched it on the... I'm going to start the noise again.
Okay.
No, not end video chat, just leave. That's it. That's better. So it should be red. It should be straight. Oh no, let's see if it's streaming. Oh no, not end video chat. Yeah, that's streaming. Right, I've left the Telegram this time, so we don't have the endless feedback loop again.
Oh, that was very confusing.
Did you want to start with some comments, Hobbit?
Yes, I do.
We've got some YouTube comments. I'll start with the oldest one first. Update, I do not appreciate Rachel Carson. Someone called Hobbit said. Someone called Freeman on the Sun said that.
What was he saying?
He said, update, I do not appreciate Rachel Carson 4 weeks ago.
Oh, right. Well, this Freeman on the Sand chap, I don't appreciate Rachel Carson either, and my position hasn't changed on that. Fuck you, Rachel Carson. I'm glad you're dead.
How about Delos Mike 2030 commented, complete waste of time as presented.
Yeah.
That was 3 weeks ago. This is the one we really need to address. Mugwort9255 commented, what is apple brandy? I think we went over this, but we haven't gone over it publicly, have we?
Yeah, so apple brandy is more commonly known as well, I say is it more commonly known as? Because it seems the marketing trend with booze these days is well, people don't understand there's things that aren't beer, wine or cider. So we'll just have to say, oh, it's a fruit wine, it's a honey wine, it's a pear cider.
So is Calvados more fortified than that then? Is that why you call it a brandy?
Calvados is a brandy made from apples, in the same way that grappa is a brandy made from grapes.
So how do you make brandy then?
Well, brandy is wine that has been distilled.
Okay then.
The same with grappa.
So, right, okay then. So Baz10 commented, see if we can keep up with this one, Hobbit. Missed live, haha, best yellow, greater than, pornography is a question of geography. Marlon Brando, Tea House of the August Moon, 1956. Does that mean anything to you, Hobbit? Is it a spies passing? Is the CIA passing messages through our YouTube comments?
I hate schizophrenics. Seek medical advice. Or an exorcist.
Humble Cabbage Farmer says, "Could that intro be any more 14?" He's talking about last week's. It did get a bit 14 because I kind of lost control of it. Right. So, what are we talking about? We were talking about what were we talking about beforehand? Greta Thunberg, and is Nostradamus going to mention Greta Thunberg?
Well, he predicted a lot of stuff. He is the original I predicted this guy.
I do actually have a clip. If I play it from the 14, I've got a really weird clip from Greta Thunberg to play. Listen to this, Hobbit.
Specifically for the planet. If we want to continue fighting battles like environmentally conscious humans, we must make the change to sustainable tanks and weaponry. There are so many new concepts for battery-powered fighter jets that can carry many more missiles, biodegradable missiles, of course. Something literally everybody can do to stop this nonsense is, for example, block
Is this
the
an
roads to
AI
gardens and
deepfake?
farms so the plants
No,
don't
this
get
is
overrun
Greta
by these
Thunberg
heavy,
on the
heavy
One
tanks.
Show.
Hand grenades, very important.
So the BBC
if you
are
use hand
platforming
grenades, please use vegan grenades. No animal should have to give their life for all
Is
this
it- is
mayhem
this
and
AI?
chaos.
It might be
They have a
AI.
special sticker on them. You really can't miss them in the
I think it may
grenade
be.
market
I
or
think it
wherever
may
you buy
be
them.
AI.
Yeah, I cover all of this and more in my newest
mean,
book,
I know she's
Vegan
got-
Wars.
I know she's got autism, but like there's she was speaking with too much confidence.
The thing is though, she's so odd. She's so odd
Yeah.
that you could believe that she would say that.
The problem is when you listen to the
Oh,
cadence.
we've got a joke for this week's show. How does Mario contact his dead relatives?
Don't know.
A Luigi board.
Oh, fucking hell.
Thanks for that, Dom. It's awful. It's a terrible, horrible, no good joke, I believe, as some people say.
I forgot to groan. It's that bad.
It's a full-on dad joke.
I'm sorry. Also, can we explain the Fortean case of why websites use GIF and WebP image formats? Can you stop that, please? Please stop it.
Just stop it.
There's no we have progressed us beyond the need for GIF and WebP. Like, look, we have PNG, JPEG, and we don't need any other image formats. Journalists and photographers don't at me. Also, journalists, if I can do grammar better than you can, then you are in the wrong profession. And like, I don't know, work at McDonald's or something.
Do you remember Amy Lame? It was stylized to Amy Lame, but she was very lame. She was a big fat thing that used to be on telly all the time.
No.
Sadiq hired her as his night czar. Well, during her... I thought she'd been sacked long ago, but it turns out she was only sacked the other day. 1,000 London venues closed under her reign, during which she enjoyed luxury trips to Australia, Italy and Spain, while earning 117 grand salary.
My comprehension of things you're saying...
Yeah, I didn't like that. What did you say?
Well, that was the thing. I wasn't actually like looking at anything whilst you were saying it.
No,
Because-
I wasn't either.
I was like, you know what?
She was the night czar, and while she was night czar, 1,000 London venues closed. This is how successful she was. But she got 117 grand salary.
Stop.
Yeah.
What is night czar? I don't understand this
So
concept.
your job, I would assume, as a night czar, would be to improve London's nightlife, which she utterly failed.
What czar mean? Wouldn't it be like?
Do you not remember the government wonks? They call them czars, don't they? So it's like
Why?
it just means expert.
How? What does that mean?
It's
Well, like czar is
speak.
in
It's not
the Russian term for a king.
yeah.
The czar.
Yeah, because
So I'm
Night
pointless
King.
person, the Night King.
Kamala was born as czar. Did you know this? I mean, I'm talking about.
Well, look, if we use normal people words instead of bullshit commie,
Right, borders are.
if we use normal people
Good
words
one.
instead of like, I find this highly subversive and I don't appreciate it. I mean, haven't we always been at war
It was
with
like
East
a
Asia? I
90s
mean,
thing, the
Eurasia.
Tsar was. I can't remember who the first czar was. but
Oceania. Yeah, Oceania's always been at war or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oceania have always been our ally. We've always been at war with East Asia.
Hobbit,
targets in
do you
Israel.
think this could be AI?
It's too soon to assess the impact fully. But I utterly
Sausages.
condemn this attempt by the Iranian regime to harm innocent Israelis, to escalate this
Sausages.
incredibly dangerous.
I'm a prime minister.
Is this speech impediment caused by inhaling sausages repeatedly?
Well, rumours are he has been inhaling a lot of sausages, a certain rich donor's sausage, apparently.
Yes, he really likes his.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, he's fond of the spicy Moroccan sausage known as merguez.
Yes.
I'm very cultural. I am. Oh, and in fact, I'm so cultural, I can tell you now because I knew it all along and I didn't just look it up.
Oh shit!
Nostradamus.
Hold on, I've got a bit more dystopia for you. So this is
Hmm.
Lewis Brackpool says this is a real
Ah,
training
but
module
just a
for local
second.
council in Ghana.
What sort of dystopia? Is it a crap one, perchance?
Yes, crap council dystopia.
College.
That is the worst dystopia.
Let's get started. This is Mr. J, a young man of 17. He lives with his parents in the county of Hogshire. He is known to his local nature reserve staff, as he often uses the bird hides and public viewing areas there. He is quiet and withdrawn and very rarely speaks to staff, but is polite when he does so.
Predator.
He is known to attend the local college and has taken part in organised activities at the nature reserve as part of his college course.
Right, okay. What's the question?
I don't know. I suppose we'll get there in a second.
Thanks for this series of
The
statements.
scrapey noise
Yeah.
is them not marking off days
Nature
on the
reserve
calendar.
staff become concerned after noticing the content of some leaflets which have been left in the viewing hides on the reserve.
Oh dear.
Oh,
These
duh.
contain anti-immigration
after your
views and
dog.
argue
No, he
that
works
British
for TA.
tradition and identity is under threat
Jay's
from
Barclay, isn't it?
multiculturalism and that Islam is fundamentally opposed to British values.
So far, I'm detecting no lies.
Staff also find stickers on litter bins in the reserve.
Oh dear.
These contain
Oh, no.
similar slogans and
Not
statements
gasp
to the leaflets.
stickers.
Is one of them saying bill stickers will be prosecuted?
Yeah,
A review of CCTV cameras shows that it is Mr. J who has placed the stickers and leaflets in the
Oh.
reserve. When questioned, he admits his actions, but is defensive and uncooperative.
Yeah, fuck off, you bitch, Karen.
The nanny state
Staff at the
says
nature
no.
reserve are concerned with the content of what Mr. J is distributing and believe he may be vulnerable and or susceptible to being radicalised. They make
You've
a
had a bit
prevent
too much to
referral
think,
and they
haven't you,
include
Mr.
images of the
J?
stickers and leaflets.
I think the radicalisation is be like, oh, they're going to go on the
Once
chat room
assessed,
somewhere
it
and
is
be
decided that channel
hypnotised
support
with
is
words
appropriate.
and not just be like,
A
have you
counter-terrorism
realised
case police
the ones
officer
doing the
is assigned and visits
radicalising is the
family
ones
along
to
with a
you
social
being an
worker from
insufferable
Children's
cunt.
Services.
That's why people are getting
Mr. J
radicalised.
admits that he has been spending more
When you
and
say
more
you got to
time
register
online
your
looking at discussion
chickens,
forums.
that might be a bit
He explains
radicalising.
that at first,
Did
he just
you hear about
discussed
the
history and
the
fantasy.
evil people that got the chicken website blocked and shut down?
Well, no, they were just being very.
What happened?
Well, they
they were
sound
being
like they've
very
had a bit too much to think, much like Mr. J here.
They, like myself, were being very conscientious and erring on the side of caution, and knowing that every egg in your possession has the potential to hatch into a chicken.
Did the chicken website get shut down?
No, it got clogged with traffic and it broke.
So I unfortunately was no longer able to register my chickens. However, you can write to them and also use their telephone number, which is still on the website, to inform them about how many potential chickens you'll be getting this week.
Well,
I
They have a
think
PO box.
I might potentially have to register another 12 chickens this week.
Can you imagine just everyone every week just registers a box of eggs?
You have to also state what the intended purpose of this creature is, and I will say for eating.
Yeah.
For making
So
pancakes.
let's hear more about this evil. It's evil, Mr. J. So first, he explains that he was playing fantasy computer games with other users, and that radicalised him.
Computer games with other users. But he was then
Oh,
encouraged
no,
to visit
computer
other
games.
sites which shared anti-immigration, anti-Islam,
Praise
and
resist, yeah.
anti-Semitic and
Yeah.
far-right
Oh,
views
no,
and conspiracy
far right.
theories.
Computer games.
He says that he's been feeling very lonely, depressed and directionless at college. But he feels
Praise
like he
resist,
has
yeah.
friends and a
Trust
shared
me,
purpose
play Dota
amongst
2
some of
enough
the
and you
users on
definitely want
these
to go to war
forums.
with Russia.
Yeah. So that's that.
Yeah.
So the
I must
answer
admit,
according to module is call counter-terror police on him.
I must admit, every time I've had the misfortune of playing against the Chinese and Russians, it makes me want to go to war with their nations.
I've just also found on Twitter 10 celebrities you didn't know were gay. Number 7, Alan Carr.
What? Alan Carr is a
Okay.
bunder? No, get out of town. Him?
He's
Next
not
you'll be telling me Philip Schofield does it up the ruddy buff.
No, well, we don't talk about that, allegedly.
Oh no, he's not been rehabilitated yet. He's going to go on the BBC with Hugh Edwards. They're going to do a Jimmy Savile in memoriam show paid for by
Speaking of Jimmy Savile, you seen that
Do you
Anthony
think
Kiedis
he's going to have
Red
in
Hot
like
Chili
10
Peppers
years'
girlfriend?
time? We're going to be. Do you think in 10 years' time they're going to be like, oh, Jimmy Savile was, wrongfully, like,
He was much maligned. He was
Yeah.
in fact a national treasure,
yeah.
which many people loved.
Oh, I could see that happening.
Anyway,
Did you see the Schofield Desert Island thing?
I saw bits.
I've heard
of
about
it.
Clips of it.
It's just terrible the way he was treated, isn't it? For no reason whatsoever.
And then
Yeah,
one
he
day,
didn't
for
do
no
it to
reason not
himself
to.
or anything. No, it's never his fault. No, it's
And then one day, for no reason at all, Philip Schofield's wife came out to say what a wonderful man he was.
a bit like Starmer's wife.
Yes.
Look at this. Like, someone here says
Allegedly.
David Lammy's a traitor and not fit for the job of Foreign Secretary. That man is a mastermind.
Yeah, I mean, well, we've seen his performance on Mastermind. You don't get a mastermind if you're not a mastermind. That's the rule.
I think you just need to go to Harvard or wherever to get into Mastermind, to be honest. You don't have to. You only have to get into Harvard. Doesn't mean you have to be smart.
Have you seen Keir Starmer's been working hard on youth movement between us and the EU? I don't know whether that's some sort of like some sort of P Diddy-esque thing.
P Diddy. Oh. Well, yeah. What is happening in that? I just keep hearing
P Diddy.
all
P
over
Diddy
it.
trafficked nobody to nobody.
Oh, okay. I see.
I should imagine.
He's the
I did see that. What's his name? Denzel Washington deleted.
Oh
like, some
shit!
stuff as
Diddy
well.
is done. There's an entire video. It's over. Oh dear.
Did Nostradamus predict P.
Diddy.
Diddy?
Should we
Maybe.
get into Nostradamus?
Well, the thing is, everything we're talking about is related to
It
Nostradamus
could have been predicted.
because
mate.
Wait, did-
Nostradamus
Wait,
predicted this.
do you think Nostradamus predicted Jeffrey Epstein?
Ah, no, he would have called him Monsieur Epstein.
I wonder if AI will help you find that. If you can use AI to find them. The reviews are in for the new Joker movie. Has a message for fans. Go fuck yourselves.
Oh, good. I like it when a popular piece of media subverts fans' expectations.
Yeah.
Did you know Romania published a stamp with Nostradamus on it? Very interesting, seeing as Nostradamus was a French philosopher.
So Nostradamus. Let's talk about who Nostradamus was first, because I don't know anything about him. Michel. His name's Michel Hobbit.
A lot
Isn't
of
that a
Frenchmen
bird's
are
name?
called. A lot of French. It's the French version of Michael. They call him Michel.
Why's he got a bird's name? Michel de Nostradam, usually Latinized as Nostradamus, was a French astrologer, apothecary, physician, and reputed seer. So he wasn't he was definitely an astrologer, apothecary, and physician, but we weren't sure whether he was a seer or not.
He was reputed to be a soothsayer.
He's best known for his book
A
Les
sayer of
Prophecies.
sooths.
Is that the sequel
Les-
to
Les
Les
Profitables.
Miserables?
Yeah.
Les
It's a
Prophecies
prequel.
is what led to, but it was the prequel, because
Yeah.
it led to Les Miserables.
A collection of 942 poetic quatrains allegedly predicting future events.
You're going to have to explain what a quatrain is, because I know you've hinted at this word before. It's not a real word.
Well, a
is it?
quatrain
Come
is a
on.
type of stanza or a complete poem consisting of 4 lines. So it's a bit like a limerick.
Oh, right. So when they say like a rhyming couplet, it's like da 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 da.
Yeah.
So,
It-
I
it
don't
cut-
think he's rhymed, do they? He's quite
Well,
funny.
no, what I'm trying to say is that it's a poetical structure: limerick, rhyming couplets, haikus, and a quatrain. I don't know, like, not all poems rhyme, but those are the bad poems. Poems should rhyme because the rhyming is an aide-memoire, as Nostradamus would say.
Yeah.
What would be an anglicised version of that? It's a memory aid.
Yeah. Memory aids.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he was born in the south of France. Well, I lived in the south of France. Coincidence? I think not.
Yeah. He got mixed reviews for Les Prophets. Les Propheties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is the prophecies in English.
Michael of Nostradam, which means Michael of Nostra, I think is that the formal old-fashioned way of saying of our? Because notre is
Not.
like, for example, the famous cathedral in Paris, the one which, whilst it was still burning, they said it's definitely not arson. That's the Cathedral of Our Lady, which they say is the Cathédrale de Notre-Dame. But there's like, it's Notre is formal, so I'm wondering if Nostra.
Do you know what got him of it in the end? It was the gout.
Oh, I was going to say what got him in the end was virulent anti-Semitism, because I'm reading
it wouldn't
here.
have been virulent anti-Semitism because he was, in fact, a Semite.
Well, that's what I meant. That the gout was being virulently anti-Semitic.
So it turned into an edema, apparently. So a pretty bad shit, that.
Yeah.
Oh God! Have you seen the image on Wikipedia for an edema? It's literally where someone pushes onto someone's leg and you can still see the dent afterwards. Oh, grim.
Pass.
That's horrible. Yeah, don't look at that.
There was this. Have you ever watched My £600 Life?
I've
Do
seen
you remember
one with that really whingy fat bloke. But
I don't need Hobbit. I'm living
it. I'm aspiring to
the one
be
who
on
emotionally
it.
blackmails his dad to buy him pizzas. Hobbit, that geezer.
Oh, the fat blob who takes up most of the bed.
Yeah,
legend.
Yeah, and he moved out into his own house, and he was supposed to be eating properly, but he just kept like strong arming his dad like emotionally for pizzas.
Yeah. Fat Jahans. The one which I remember is the two fat sisters, and they were so fat that they had forehead ridges filled with fat. But then I found out it's not fat, it's edema, because there's another form of edema called lymphedema, and it's where your lymph vessels are so filled with lard because you're that fat that the lymph can no longer drain, and it will swell up and you get edema. So they had edema in their faces, they were that fat. And I remember she was talking to the camera about, like, she'd have this, like, a tub of ice cream, a big tub, not just a pint.
Are we going back into another crap dystopia episode?
Well, I'm going to see if Nostradamus predicted My £600 Life. So what she would do is, after she'd have it, she'd quaff down 3 litres, because they do 3-litre bottles over there, of diet soda.
We used to do 3-litre bottles of pop.
Yeah, we did, yeah. Do you not remember the Virgin Cola?
I think
Coke, the lot, you could get 3 litres in all of them. You could even get
when
3 litres of cider for about £2.
I used to love having the 3-litre bottles of cider. Not White Lightning, not Black Form. Black Form's horrible.
According to Dom, Alex Jones is Nostradamus.
So, I also when I was in Dover, I think I was in Pound Stretcher Land or something like that, and I saw 3-litre bottles of was it Tango or Pepsi? Yeah. Either way, she would quaff down this 3-litre bottle of Coke, not even bother pouring it into a glass, because it's like, what's the fucking point? You just have to Yeah, and she says, my mum told me that if you have a diet drink, it cancels out the sugar, so it's okay. It's like, that's not how, like, no. Artificial sweeteners do not cancel out sugar, you fat tub of lard.
No way, really?
Fat tubby fucker.
So anyway, Nostradamus' paternal grandfather chose to convert and to change the family name from Gassonet to de Nostradam, which is a
Gassonet.
Christian reference. Gassonet sounds like a
Gassonet.
Franken.
That's it.
Gassonet.
That's
Well,
it.
are you supposed to?
the popular pregnancy painkiller? Gassonet.
Pierre de Nostradam, Guy Gassonet. So, what does the secret Jewish history of Nostradamus? Oh, that's from the foreword.
It's not
Yeah,
that
I'll
secret
read
because
that.
they blew it at the start
No.
of the Wikipedia.
This is by Benjamin Ivory, and he says,
Shouldn't that be Benjamin Devoir? Oh, Hobbit's been a bit too
in his
anti-Semitic.
voice,
Oh, you're
because
back
somebody
now,
has to
Hobbit.
read this out.
You disappeared for a minute there.
What?
You said Benjamin Ivory, and
Oh.
I said, shouldn't that be Benjamin Devoir?
So Benjamin Ivory writes about the secret Jewish history of Nostradamus, and I've learned that when
it's not secret, it's right there in the first couple of lines of the
Look,
Wikipedia.
Harry, I will not stand
what?
for
It's
this
just
anti-Semitic.
the secret that's so incredibly secret that they go.
Guys, can you hear me?
That it's a,
Hello, yes, I can hear you, Fraser.
Guys,
Yeah,
right. Is anyone like?
It all
Did
blanked
anyone
out for a
just
second
hear
then.
Hemi? No. Did anyone just hear Hemi repeat himself?
yeah,
No.
I did.
Okay, that's
Ah.
all right then. I just thought I was having.
I
deja
actually
vu.
repeated myself, but Hobbit's not listening to me.
word for word. I was
Well,
just like,
yeah.
oh, this is crazy. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Hobbit's
I
not
know,
listening to me.
I am listening to
I
you,
made
and
a
I'm
French
saying
joke,
that,
Hobbit, and you just fucking swept right over it.
and I'm saying that was a vile Semitic attack against Benjamin Ivory.
Benjamin Devoir.
What?
The Ivory Coast
Benjamin-
is the Coast d'Ivoire.
Oh, Côte d'Ivoire,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Benjamin Ivory's not French, you see. He's Israeli. I assume.
Okay.
Or he might not be. He might be a New Yorkite. New Yorkian? New York. Who is somebody
New
from New York?
Yorker.
But anyway,
They're New Yorker.
Benjamin Ivory is a frequent forward contributor. Doesn't say. Oh, it's
Forward.
got some other stuff.
And a particular kind of forward, because I'm pretty sure there's only one kind of forward, isn't there?
Forward, the byline is Jewish, independent, non-profit. So
Jewish and non-profit.
and it is independent.
I'm just
yeah.
confused. Jewish and non-profit. I just don't get it.
You see, he doesn't use the term quatreme. He says the prophecies, which is a collection of 4-line texts that are purported to tell the future. A recent translation,
too much like a cross. Is that what it is?
maybe, or it's seen as a bit gauche to be using the French terms. A recent translation. No, you see.
To be
that
fair,
was a subtle French.
Hobbit, the only time I've ever heard the word crotch-rain is always in conjunction with Nostradamus. It's the only time I've ever heard the word crotch-rain used.
Well, you see, now let's make this subtle French joke less subtle.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it's a bit gauche to use terms like quatrain when we have an English-speaking audience.
Yeah.
Let us not do such a thing like that, as we don't have the entrepreneurial spirit to capitalise
Yeah, but
on
the French don't have a word for entrepreneur. George Bush.
I know, exactly. Yeah, but George Bush was a bit gauche, and he was seen as a bit bourgeoisie as well.
To be fair, who's better, George Bush or do you remember we went over some of Dan Quayle's famous moments the other week? That was quite fun. He's a bit of a legend on the quiet, isn't he?
I seem to remember there was this game I played called Alphabet, and it had a lot of cultural references of the mid-90s. One of them was about, like, you'd fight Dan Quayle and the Bush. And it says, read my lips.
Dan Quayle famously spelt potato, P-O-T-A-T-O-E.
Potatio. Potato.
He spelled potato right correctly, but he just put an E on the end because he'd obviously seen the plural written down somewhere, and he thought, so Luke, you just take the S off for the singular.
Potato.
Potato-y.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, what's his name? Mr. Seabuff? Mr. Seabuff did Seabuff likened Nostradamus' doggerel. Well, Benjamin Ivory, that is a vile anti-Semitic attack against your fellow
Doggerel?
tribesmen.
the fuck
He
does
called it
doggerel mean?
You've not heard the term doggerel before?
Le Doggerel. Is that
D-
what
no,
does it mean?
doggerel is a term meaning drivel.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Seabuff like Nostradamus'
it's
doggerel.
no, actually, it's more specific than that. It's crudely or irregularly fashioned verse, often of a humorous or burlesque nature.
Oh, well, that makes sense,
Very
because
nice.
if this is supposed to be like some sort of
It's
prophetic
also
verse,
a sort of loose or irregular verse, mean or undignified poetry.
so if I go to feminist slam poetry and say I'm here to listen to some doggerel, that would be an accurate description of and usage of the word.
Yeah.
So now,
So an expanded meaning is doggerel is poetry. It is silly or badly written. I think that's probably what he was going for by calling it doggerel.
Seabuff like Nostradamus' doggerel to the kind of folksy sentient-eousness one finds in Ezra Pound's translations from the archaic Chinese of the Confucian Odes. Overrating Nostradamus.
So here's by George Crocos, a doggerel to the local dogs. You've been barking too much, and you seem to have lost touch with what is acceptable behaviour, ignoring the example of any saviour.
Oh,
French.
actually, that reminds me of the seminal classic by Anal Cunt. You look divorced. Lyrics. You look divorced in lyrics.
I love you more than a duck can swim, and more than a grapefruit squirts. I love you more than than commercials are a bore, and more than a toothache hurts.
Let's see if
I quite like doggerel.
If this quatreme, because it is a quatreme, compares to the doggerel by Nostradamus.
I've got one more. I've got one. My wife claims that I acted with impropriety. My actions somehow it seems have miffed her. The same day she became head of the Temperance Society, I caught my head in a brandy snifter.
What a mifter is, or if that's just like one of those nonsense words made to...
Miffed means pissed off.
Oh, she miffed her, yeah.
Yeah, so I seem to have pissed her off, yeah.
You've got that mopey look on your face. You're 3 months behind on your alimony payments. You're pissed off. Your ex married someone new. And you're also pissed off because he's a fucking Jew. I'm sorry, Benjamin Ivory. These aren't my words. Chorus is, you look divorced, you look divorced, you look divorced, you look divorced. You sit in a bar, you're always pissed. You're number 4 on the deadbeat dad list. You're fired from your job because you're a fucking drunk. You'll never get it back because you're a fucking loser. You look divorced, you look divorced, you look divorced, you look divorced. You see, did Nostradamus do anything as good as you look divorced?
Do you want to hear a doggerel about Cousin Terry?
Who's Cousin Terry?
His turtleneck sweater covers up his flea collar. He has a terrible inferiority complex, and he's right. If he had his life to live over, he shouldn't. He's completely wrapped up in himself, an untidy package. That's not very good, is it?
I mean, it didn't make me laugh.
I think that's the ultimate doggerel. I think. Some of these are really not that good. On Penhill Crags he tore his rags, and Hunter's Thorn he blew his horn. At Capplebankstee he appened his fortune and brack his knee. At Grisgill Beck he brack his neck. At Wadham's End he couldn't fend. At Grigshill End he will mark his end. Shout, lads, shout. God, some of these doggerels are awful.
Oh, for a minute I thought you were going to say shout, shout, let it all out. These are the sprouts I can do without. Oh no, I don't want to eat that veg. Oh no, I just want beans instead.
Yeah, it's awful.
That's what the song was about, right?
Something like that.
Sprouts.
Anyway, that's
sprouts.
doggerel. So now we know what doggerel is.
Can you guys cover me whilst I go and have a glass of water? I'm being professional by asking this before the show starts.
Is that because you don't want to tell us you're having a poo?
No, if I'm having a poo, I'll let you know.
Okay then.
Yeah,
I
I am
don't know
thirsty.
where to pick up your thread, Hobbit, because you're in your own little fucking world there.
They've been on so many fucking tangents, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Hobbit was on about some stuff. Nostradamus' childhood. He was born on the 14th or 21st of December 1503 in Saint Remy de Provence in Provence, France, where his claimed birthplace still exists. And baptized Michel, because that's a
Michelle, Michael.
that's a boy's name in France.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of at least 9 children of a notary Jaume or Jacques de Nostradamus and Rayenière, granddaughter of Pierre de Saint Remy, who worked as a physician in Saint Remy. Jaume's family had originally been Jewish, but his father Crescus, a grain and money dealer based in Avignon, had converted to Catholicism around 1459 to 60, taking the Christian name Pierre and the surname Nostradamus, Our Lady. So Nostradamus means Our Lady, Hobbit.
Yes, that's why it's called Nostradamus.
The saint on whose day his conversion was solemnized. The earliest ancestor who can be identified on the paternal side is Astruge of Carcassonne, who died about 1420. Michel's known siblings include Delphine, Jean, Pierre, Hector, Louis, Bertrand, Jean II, that's John II, Antoine. So why are they saying they don't know what his name was when one of the kids was Jean II? Oh, there was one Jean and then there was a second Jean. Like there are only nine names in France. There are only 8 names in France that you can call your kids,
actually,
apparently.
that is true. There's Jean.
Yeah,
there's
I
Jean
remember that
Jacques.
thing. They used to be only allowed to name them after saints, didn't they?
Yes.
But the other thing as well is here's the thing, right? Now we have 2 perfectly serviceable anglicised names.
Did you hear where Nostradamus come from?
Yeah, he came from the south of France.
No, Our Lady.
No.
Nostradamus means Our Lady.
Yeah. Notre-Dame means, Church of
Well, that's what I meant. That's why I was speculating at the beginning of the show, saying that Nostra must be an old form of Notre, because these days you'd say Notre to mean
because this is the 1500s. So yeah.
Nostra. Yeah. Well, you see, the thing is, Nostra, I think, is also in Italian.
But isn't there a song? Because I remember they used to sing it in French. Sur le pont Avignon.
I'm sorry, I don't know that song.
Oh, I don't know whether it's one. I don't know whether it's one of those songs that only appears in language classes or whether it's a real song.
It's probably the former, yeah. There was a thing that just it was bothering me the other day. Right, that's it. Right, we have 2 perfectly serviceable names in English, which we have anglicised as John and Jack, which in French are Jean and Jacques. And apparently, they say John Kennedy is Jack Kennedy.
Yeah.
It's like, but how can you be? This is like saying someone called Dave is also known as Dorf. I'm trying to think of another name that begins with D.
What about Craig? Which could be either Craig or Greg, can it? When Yanks use the word Craig, well, I don't know what Craig means.
Wait, so Pope Gregory could also be known as Pope Craig Gary.
Surely you've heard it on American films when they reference someone called Craig, and I can't tell if it's Craig or Greg.
But isn't Gregory supposed to be? Oh no, Gregory and Jeffrey are 2 different things. But anyway, John and Jack are 2 different names, but apparently, according to the French, John and Jack are the same name.
About, but he said, "This sounds like a woke version of Hal. I'm afraid I can't let you dead name me like that, Dave." Dave.
But the thing is, if that was true, Jack is an anglicised form of John or Jean. Then, why do the French have...
I think we've upset Dom, because he said, did Nostradamus predict that you'd spend the entire episode woodwosing before getting to any of his predictions?
Well, you see, this is what we're trying to prove with Nostradamus, is the fact that he didn't predicted this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet he didn't predict the black vomit sauna, did he?
I tell you, yeah, and he didn't predict the jerk-off crystals either. Take that, Nostradamus.
He might have done. Right, should we
You know
do,
there's
should we
900
do
of
some...
these things.
Before we get to... Well, we are in the weeds. We're already fucking way in the weeds. Pick a subject and I'll see if I can find a quatrain on it.
As a boy, he studied Hebrew as well as Latin and Greek, and his grandfather
He was a
court
good boy, wasn't he?
physicians. He learnt about herbal. I'm using the the American English herbal medicine and
Do you want to
Kabbalah.
the Greco-Turkish problem, Hobbit? Hobbit, do you want to hear about that?
Okay, yeah.
Hold on, just got to find the page. I'm using the oldie-fashioned internet. Right, so the Greco-Turkish problem. Les Rhodians demanderont securs par le neglect ses bors de lassie. Le empire arabe revelera son secours par Hesperies la cause redressi.
That was
Like a bit
a
of pidgin
language.
French, do you, Hobbit?
I didn't understand what you were saying. I'm sorry.
Well, apparently the English translation is the people of Rhodes will ask for help. Robbed, thanks to the actions of their forebears, the Arab Empire returns like for like. Its cause is straightened out by the West. So would that be the people of Rhodes? No, that can't be.
That's Greece. That's Greece. Then that's the
Because I was thinking it was Cyprus. Might be.
Well, if he's actually talking about the island of Rhodes, I mean, we can look at what befell it, because I think it was part of the Byzantine
It says the people
Empire.
of Rhodes. It says the people of Rhodes is what he says.
On the Arab Empire. What was? I mean, that's the Ottoman Empire, right?
Yeah.
No, because Ottomans aren't Arabs.
That sounds like that. Well, it says the date's 2039 on that, and it's quatrain 439.
439.
Yeah. That sounds like Cyprus to me.
Well, why would he say Rhodes then? Because he knew about
Well,
Cyprians.
it's the people of Rhodes and the Turkish. So it'd be the Turk Roaches, wouldn't it?
But it's still part of Greece to this day.
It's not. No, half of it is, isn't it?
That's Cyprus.
The UN are there, aren't they?
That's Cyprus. Rhodes is part of Greece. Turkey never invaded it.
The people of Rhodes will ask for help.
Yeah.
So who are the people of Rhodes? They're the Greeks, aren't they?
The ones living on Rhodes.
No, the people of Rhodes.
I think you're trying to stretch this.
I'm not stretching it. Like, what are the people of the Isle of Wight then, Hobbit?
David Icke.
What are the people of the Isle of Wight? Come on.
Well, actually, I don't know what do you call the people of the Isle of Wight?
Whitinians.
Well, they're British, aren't they? Like,
yeah. Well, okay, they are British.
That's what I'm saying. It's the people of Rhodes. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it could mean generally the Greeks, the Arab Empire. So technically, the Turks are a part of the Arab Empire because they are Muslims.
Turks aren't Arabs.
Yeah, I know. The Arab Empire being Islam, isn't it? Islam is Arab, isn't it?
Yeah.
So could it be the Turk? And it's
the Ottomans weren't.
Its cause is straightened
really
out by the West. So and the UN are there, aren't they? Because the UN kind of kept it split, didn't they?
Could be Cyprus.
I don't know. That's what I think anyway. I don't know.
There's 2 British army bases in Cyprus, and I think they do peacekeeping. Well, I'd assume they do peacekeeping because otherwise the Turks would attack them, and then we'd have to go to war with Turkey. Which shit!
How about this one then, Hobbit? I'm just flicking through French leadership. So this is date 2061 and quatrain 4/61. So la vieille moquée est privée de sa place par l'étranger qui la sabonera, man de son fils manger devant sa face, la frère de Chartres, Orléans, I assume that's Orléans, Rouen Trahiera. So the English for that is the old man is mocked and unseated by the same foreigner who bribed him. He will see the hands of his son eaten in front of him. He will betray his brother at Chartres, at Orléans, and Rouen.
Huh.
This is supposed to be 2061, but I don't know whether that's
2061. What in the
Yeah.
future?
Yeah, well, it says date 2061. I don't know whether that's the year.
Right. I ought to have a look at some of
Yeah.
this stuff as well, because I too want to pronounce things in French and then translate to English.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. This is supposed to happen in 2061.
Oh. Have we got any current year ones? Like,
Current
Or
year,
ones
yeah,
that have
pick a year.
passed.
Pick a year,
what
I'll
passed?
find one.
Oh, I know, 1993.
Oh, you
No.
know, wait, let's see if we predicted COVID.
This only goes back to
2020.
2001. So what do you want? 2020 then, don't you?
Yeah, let's see if
Oh.
we predicted that.
The healing of the Catholic Confederacy. Terrorist attack in southern France, 2021. So this is terrorist attack in southern France. No, there's no COVID.
Or
The aftermath
disease
of
or
Roman-
plague, whatever.
A lot of it's to do with Catholicism. 2020 is a big year in Catholicism, by the looks.
Well, doesn't the fact that like nearly everyone's like atheist now and Catholicism's on the decline kind of?
Could be. There's there's two things. So it's
Is
the
it, though?
aftermath of the Roman Catholic schism. Did that get healed in 2020?
No.
So I'll just do the English. I won't murder the French again. All the
There-
friends who
there
held
is
fast are now
efforts
gone.
There is
down-
effort by the current Pope to heal the schism between the Eastern Orthodox and the true Orthodox Church.
So all the friends who held fast are now gone, brought down and ransacked by those of little learning. The great one destroyed, his goods auctioned off. Never were the Roman people so insulted. So 3 years after the schism in the Roman Catholic Church. So this is one of the other a couple of the other quatrains. Things are now back to something approaching normal. No one, however, has emerged unscathed from the resulting scandal. In lines 1 and 2, we read that the schismatics have finally given in under pressure from the arch conservatives. Is that about the time we had the current Pope? When did he come in?
Uh,
Oh.
I remember the
Pope.
St. Paul's Basilica was struck by lightning when they ushered in the Jesuit as the new Pope.
So because then the next one is the same year, so it's the healing of the Catholic Confederacy. So that's the false/saintly union will not endure. Someone had converted, most had entered the Reformed Church. Inside the vessels, a sweetly enduring tribe. When Rome had a new leopard/adherent. Blimey, this stuff's deep, isn't it?
Why is it so hard to just find a list of here's what Nostradamus wrote, and
Yeah.
because it's all I can find is people talking about it, like, oh, here we go. It is like a couple of paragraphs of Nostradamus. Then who killed Tupac Shakur?
Someone got that from a quatrain.
It was just like, hey, this is related to the subject you're looking at. Like,
Oh, here you go.
I
I found
just
a
want-
website that's got 100 of his quatrains.
right, that's what we want then. Like,
There you go.
can we just call them 4-line verse?
Limericks.
Can we not use let's not use there we go, right. So I'll go to chapter 2 because that interests me for some reason.
Yeah.
Nostradamus quatrain 2-3. Because the effects of hot sun on the water at
Hot
Negro
sun on
fish
the
will be
water.
half-baked.
I thought, dude.
Hot fish will be half-baked. The inhabitants will start to slice them up when those of Rhodes and Genoa shall need food.
He's obsessed with those people of Rhodes, isn't he?
And the Genoese.
Yeah. Guineas.
Now, what if I read this one in the original French and then in the translated
It
English?
was so vague though. That could have been anything, unless it was a
Oh,
specific year.
Well, unless we start seeing like ports of like those in Greece and Italy suffering with fish harvest. Après les portes dedans de cities, I always thought it's called ville, the cité, sont deux fleurs et onque n'a paru sur un tiel. Femme dedans best le faire hors Jean Boules, and I need to make that word bigger.
So
Crier
do you
secours
do you
au grand
translate
Dieu
this the
et
same as them,
modèle.
or do you think it's something slightly different?
Well, it's from archaic French as well. That's the other problem as well.
Yeah.
So, auprès des portes dedans de yeah, near the harbours within two cities. So yeah, the ports of cities. There will be two catastrophes, the like of which never never seen. Oh right, so catastrophe
Could
is
that be? Yeah.
VX.
Oh, there we go. So yeah, so they're saying Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This one is.
Ah.
Intense in torment by a bomb incalculable, human lives are ended. Crying for help from the great god immortal. Well, is Hiroshima and Nagasaki port towns? Let's have a look at it.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I have to do a robot check for Google Maps. Oh, Google Maps it's curvy now. Okay.
So
Well, yeah, they're doing the globe Earth agenda, right? So, right, where is Nagasaki? They like Bukkake and Nagasaki.
Do they?
They go, yeah, there it is. It's a
Japan is
port
an
city.
island, so there's like a 98% chance that fucking
Actually, it's an archipelago. So, and Nagasaki is that Osaka?
Oh, Dom's got one. He said, "He who dies clad in shell suit shall remain in the black vomit sauna, never to return to the earthly plane, even in spirit." Thy waters shall henceforth render thy male amphibians to lay with other male amphibians.
Yes. Sources point to true that both Hiroshima and Nagasaki are coastal cities with ports. There are a few non-coastal cities in Japan. There's Nagano, and there's also Nagano. Well, that's just the same city.
Nagano.
Fukushima. That's that's a non.
No. Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Oh, well, the Fukushima.
How did the tidal wave hit it then?
Wow, because I believe no, that's a prefecture then, surely.
Where did you get tidal wave from? What are you on now?
Yeah, no, he's right. The Fukushima power plant had an earthquake, and so Fukushima power plant, Fukushima Daiichi. Yeah, so there's this coastal town called Daiichi, which is in Fukushima Prefecture.
Ah.
Yeah. So it'd be a bit like saying, "Oh, Didcot Power Station in Oxford Prefecture." So
it's a bit like East Midlands Airport. It's not
instead of me playing East Midlands Airport. Oh, my favourite is Kidlington Airport. It's referred to as London Oxford City Airport.
Do you remember? Jasper Carrott once said about Coventry Airport. He said it's the only airport with a cattle grid on the runway.
I like that. Nostradamus Quatrain 213.
Yeah.
Les corps sans âme ne resteraient pas en sacrifice. The body without soul can no longer be sacrificed. Jour la mort mise en négativité. The day of death is a day of rebirth. L'esprit divin fera l'âme felice. The divine spirit will make the soul joyful. Try saying she-shells. And volant la verbe et son éternité. Witnessing the holy word in its eternity. I think I'm butchering this French, to be honest. Oh, click here for Old French Dictionary. Right, well, I'd like to see an old, a native French speaker do Old French. Right, so let's
Well, how
try
about
this
this
again
one,
in
then? The
English.
blood of the just in London will be shed in error, burned by flames in
Yeah.
66. The ancient city will seek to be a safer place. Many of the same suspected sect will be killed. So he
Well,
thinks
that
this
was
refers to the
the.
Great Fire of London. Maybe it might even be a big riot in 2066. You never know, do you?
Oh, yeah, it could be the 1666 fire.
Or there might be
Well,
one in
so anyway,
2066, a big riot in London. You never know, do
let
you?
me just, without bothering to do the old French bits, because I don't think any of us are interested in old French.
Yeah.
The body without a soul can no longer be sacrificed.
Right.
That bit I find unusual. The day of death is a day of rebirth. The divine spirit will make the soul joyful, witnessing the holy word in its eternity. All right. I don't
Okay.
know what that might pertain to, but
Well, it says at the
great.
bottom, he gives a bit of a thing. He thinks it's just...
Oh, this is Nostradamus' statement on death. The great prophet believed a man is born once of water from the womb, and then once again of spirit at the moment of death.
John
And then they
3:5.
mention, yeah, that bit there.
Yeah.
In Naples, Palermo, Sicily, and Syracuse, new violence and fire explosions in the skies. Forces from London move into Ghent, Brussels, and Switzerland. Great slaughter, then triumph, festive celebrations. Oh.
So he thinks this is World War II related.
Yeah, but British forces did not enter Switzerland.
Exactly. When did we enter Switzerland?
I mean, they might have gone into Ghent and Brussels and the move towards the east.
I suppose it depends what the borders were at the time, doesn't it?
No,
because
Switzerland.
He references. You know, he's only going to be able to reference what he can see.
The Swiss borders are natural borders. They're dictated by the mountains, so it's not changed really.
So, do you want to read one of his hister ones? Is next.
Oh, you mean Cloister?
Cloister.
No, it's Cloister.
No, it's Cloister.
Yeah.
I thought that was the argument between the cat
Pokemon,
people. That it was Cloister or Cloister.
That's a Pokemon.
No, we're talking about
Red Dwarf.
cat kind.
Oh.
Yeah.
Red Dwarf. The cats had a big war, didn't they, over whether it was Cloister or Cloister?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And Lister says no, it's Lister, and there's like, oh, no one believed that. Oh, I was just about to say, yeah, because here it is. Wild men ferocious with anger cross over rivers. Best féroce des femmes fleuves traîner. Plus part du champ encontre Istler sera. Well, so anyway, wild men ferocious with anger cross over rivers. The greater part of the battlefield will be against Hitler. Well, he says Istler. In armour of steel, the great army will make the assault. He doesn't say that. En cage de fer, les grandes trosnières. That means iron. Steel in French is acier, and it always has been acier. When the child of Germany shall heed no one. Yeah, so something, you know.
Yeah,
I've
found it. Yeah, it was the big row was over whether it was Cloister or Cloister.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I think that was also a sort of an adage to Nostradamus because he called him Monsieur Ister.
Monsieur Cloister. Mr. Cloister, Mr. Cloister.
Yep. So I think I'm done with chapter 2. Is there anything else interesting?
You seen the 251? The blood of the just in London will be shed in error. Burned by flames in 66. Yeah, I just wonder whether that could be a future riot, could it?
Well, I think it's the Great Fire of 1666.
Well, yeah, but some of it's weird, isn't it? The ancient city will seek to be a safer place.
Well, yeah, Christopher Wren wanted to do a radical redesign of London then. Do you remember the episode we did about
Many of the same
cities?
suspected sect will be killed. I mean, were there murderers? Were there rumours about who did it?
Well, you know what? There was controversy over it because the idea was like, oh, what if we could rebuild London in our image? And Christopher M wanted it to be in his image.
When was
But-
Guy Fawkes? When was that?
That was way before that, wasn't it?
Wasn't
Yeah,
it? It was around that time, though, wasn't it? About Catholics.
1666 was afterwards.
Right.
Do you know, I had this game I really used to enjoy playing. It was called Timelines. And what it would be is like an event or an invention. And you'd have to like basically do higher or lower where you think it goes. And then you'd turn the card over. And if you were wrong, you had to put it in the right thing and pick up more cards. And I was really good when it came to inventions.
Let's
So what
put Great
else?
Fire London Jewish, just to see if they were suspected. Because it seems like it says Jews of London and the Great Plague.
Oh, that bit, yeah. Whilst he's doing that, the tranquility is destined for a great disruption. It will be for the Americans and Lombardians. Hey, hang on. No, that's not what is written here. He says here, right? Les portes anciennes grande calamité par l'esprit et une supréfera. Well, I'm sorry, but une supre is not Lombardian and esprit is not American. Pain and for the religious plague and confinement. Le feu en neuf peste et captivité. Well, that's not what. No, this translation is wrong.
Oh shit!
But then finally,
so the Great Fire of London was blamed on religious terrorism. Why scores of London thought the Great Fire of 1666 was all part of a nefarious Catholic conspiracy. So that explains that quatrain. Then I never knew that.
That might then, yeah.
Many of the same suspected sect will be killed. So there you go.
I mean, this bit could be predicting.
Which one are you on, Hobbit? Sorry.
Well, I just done quatrain 265, but it's bollocks. The translation is wrong. But I'm looking here at this 272, and this seems to have predicted Napoleon. So the French army in Italy halted.
Yeah.
In all places, conflict and great losses. The Italians retreating, repulsed by the French. Near the banks of the Rubicon, an uncertain battle.
So he thinks it's Julius Caesar, but you think it's Napoleon. It does mention Napoleon, doesn't it?
Well, because of Rubicon, that's famous because of Caesar crossing it. But Napoleon would have done it as well. Oh, it says here, Napoleon's army achieved their symbolic crossing of the Rubicon River on their march from Bologna to Ancona during Napoleon's fourth attack campaign. Do you know, I used one of my favourite hot sauces is called Ancona. No, it's called Encona.
Weird Al Yankovic's my Bologna.
Oh yeah, Bologna.
Yeah.
Bologna sandwich.
Bologna.
So many of his, not every of his songs are, but like I'd say 90% of his songs are about food.
Quite a lot of them are, aren't they? Do 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 do. Foil, innit? Foil, spam, couch potato. Yeah, quite a lot of it.
I'm fat, you know it. Oh, you know,
it.
like
just eat it.
Michael Jackson became friends with him, and so like Weird Al would ring him up and say, "Hey, I've got this parody for it." And then one day, Michael rang him up and say, "Hey, I'm doing a new song, and it's really important, so please don't do a parody of it." And then Weird Al just said, "Oh, I've actually written the lyrics to It Doesn't Matter If You Snack All Night." Da, 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 da. And
I wonder how he used to. Do you reckon he used to just like listen to the radio and he'd like come up with a chorus or something, and then he'd build?
I think he'd do it whilst he was like hungry, and then just like all the lyrics would be about food. Yeah, because I think I remember reading in an early interview he said, "Oh yeah, when I wrote the first album, I was really hungry because I didn't have much money as a student at the time, So we just like go into the studio and no one else is there, and we do the parody songs.
They should invent a spirit box that spits out Nostradamus quotes. I could just see the YouTube ghost hunters jumping around, pointing at it, and getting all excited whenever it says something. I think I don't know, but I think Dom may be a bit of a skeptic on this one.
I'm starting to get a bit skeptical of this stuff now.
It's a bit hit and miss, isn't it?
I had a girlfriend when I was back in school, and she was telling me stuff about Nostradamus, but she knew I was into woo-woo. And I was looking and I was like, I'm sorry, love, I can't get excited about this.
In the most remote part of Western Europe, to poor people a young child will be born, who by his speech will seduce a great many. His fame even to the kingdom of the Orient will increase.
Is he talking about Stalin?
He's having another... well, this guy thinks it's Hitler. That time we used the old roll in a day. He thought it was Hitler, I think, the guy that runs...
That's vague. That could be any...
But no, repeat the first bit again.
Right, it's Quatrain 335, Hobbit, if you want to look for yourself.
Yeah.
So it's in the remote part of Western Europe, which isn't by any stretch Austria.
I thought you said Eastern Europe, although technically
Europe.
Oh, sorry, no, I'll get them right. Well, technically Georgia is not part of Europe. So that wouldn't be Stalin.
The most remote part of Western Europe.
I don't think Austria is really that remote.
No, I wouldn't say Austria's remote.
Maybe he's talking about Francisco Franco.
Western Europe? Is that really Western Europe?
I mean, you can't, apart from Portugal, you can't get further west than Spain. The most remote
part of Western Europe would imply to me something like, it'd be like Sweden or something like that, wouldn't it?
Spain, even, that's pretty remote.
It's not Western Europe, that's Eastern Europe, though, isn't it?
I suppose the bit because they're tying it into Hitler is they're saying his fame even to the kingdom of the Orient will increase because the Japs at the time did have the Emperor Hirohito, and
he did have the pact with the Japs, didn't he?
Japanese, yeah.
Yeah, he had complimentary things to say about the Japs.
Oh, how about this one? This is one that's not about Hitler. When brute power by man is tamed, after great pains and efforts it shall carry speech. But lightning in its virgin form will be so dangerous that from the ground it must be isolated and suspended in the air. So this is talking about electricity, where people will be able to talk over, I assume, PCs and things like that.
I'm
okay.
I will answer that tomorrow.
What do you think to that one then, Hobbit?
I think why are people calling me at 8 in the evening
on a Thursday, as usual.
Yeah. It's always fucking Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah.
But part of my
344, Hobbit. What are your thoughts?
Oh well, he's really eager. Just a second.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, let's just wait for Hobbit to answer his phone.
Hello, speaking, yeah.
Wireless comms. And Nico. Laughy face. Nico question mark. Wireless comms, Nico. Yeah, so this is why, it's definitely it's like wireless comms or something like that. That from the ground it must be isolated and suspended in the air. I mean, is he even going so far as predicting Wi-Fi? Fraser?
Telephones, maybe?
Yeah, I wonder if he's going as far to I wonder if he's predicting Wi-Fi almost, because he says that from
suspended in the air.
Yeah, isolated and suspended in the air, which would be more than just, unless he's talking about Tesla. Tesla and the what are they called? Towers?
Tesla coil, yeah.
No, the towers, coil. The ones that were going to transmit
it's
electricity.
Just a giant Tesla coil. Yeah.
No. There was the tower. It looked like an Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
The wireless thing. I can't remember what they were called. Hobbit will know
Yeah.
when he gets off the phone.
They're Tesla coils, right?
No. The Tesla coils are just a way of doing
They
the ace.
they radiate electricity outwards, yeah, in the air.
Tesla.
You know, there's that
Tower.
famous.
He had a particular name for the towers, didn't he? The Wardenclyffe Towers, I think.
Mm. But it's basically the same thing, right? It's just generate electricity.
Well, the Tesla
the
Tesla towers would be
wireless.
in there, so the transmission would happen. Then the Wardenclyffe Tower would receive
That's what I
it.
thought. It sounded like Tesla, but I don't know. Maybe it's something about
Fusion plasma power suspended by magnets in an air chamber. There you go. Nico knows his shit.
Hmm.
Is he back yet?
Nope.
What else have we got here? So we got the Republic of the Great City. To a great hardship shall not consent. The king exits the city with trumpets, repenting the ladders on the city walls. So he thinks. So the guy here thinks it's King Henry III when he's forced to flee Paris on the day of the barricades. I mean, a lot of these could be pretty much any battle, couldn't they?
Yeah, exactly. Like there's probably 1,000 of those ones, right? You know.
Yeah.
This is it. They're so vague. The problem is, I find these are like vague as.
Oh, how about this one? So 357, Fraser. 7 times the British lineage sees change, bound for blood by 290 years, unable to free itself from its German ties, but the ram fears his bastardly roots.
The ram fears its bastardly roots.
Oh my God, it's another Hitler one.
Is it a Hitler one? Oh,
In 1933, the commoner Adolf Hitler, born on April the 20th, Aries the Ram, took over the leadership of Germany. Hitler was the son of a bastard child born out of wedlock to a German mother and a Jewish father, Frankelberger. I don't think so.
But then 200
But why
years
talk
of,
about
like,
why talk about the because Hitler wasn't really like he had his moment in the sun, but he wasn't. I wouldn't tie him in with the British family.
Hmm.
I just wonder whether some of this they've kind of, like they seem to want to talk about Hitler all the time, don't they? The people that go through these. So
The Hitler, yeah. Everything was Hitler, yeah.
yeah, it's all Hitler. What else we got? You seen any you want to read?
No, not really. I mean,
Ooh, how about this one then? Quatrain 397. New laws will overtake the newly occupied land around Syria, Judea, and Palestine. The great
talk about Israel.
empire corrupted by barbarians. This is before the moon ends her cycle.
it's all about Israel, right?
Yeah. So the explanation the guys put at the bottom in the 1880s, the Rusat moon cycle, 1535 to 1888. New religious laws will be celebrated in the Holy Land as Russian Jews arrive in the Middle East. The Tsar of Russia has enacted new anti-Semitic laws, and the Jewish community has begun to emigrate to Syria, Judea, and Palestine. Jewish farming communes are set up in the desert, financed with money provided by the Rothschild or Bauer family of Europe. I wonder if it's that early.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is like 1945 sort of time. Because it's the great empire corrupted by barbarians. I mean, we were driven out of we were driven out of Israel by the Jewish committing terrorism on us, weren't we?
Mm-hmm. Maybe it is, yeah. I could live with that.
Yeah, I wonder if it's that. Fucking Hobbit. Where's he? Bloody phone call. Let's go into the 4s now.
I'm back now.
All right, he's back now. Hobbit, did you listen to any of that or not?
Unfortunately, no. I was it was very eager call, and it was good news. So I'm glad I did take it.
Oh, okay, then that's good then.
Mm.
Right, how about this one then, Hobbit? What do you think to this one? So, Nostradamus 357. 7 times the British lineage sees change, bound for blood for 290 years, unable to free itself from its German ties, but the ram fears his bastardly roots. For some reason, out of nowhere, they think like the ram is Hitler.
Yeah, I mean, what? Like they're grasping at straws, and every time they go, look, this one looks like Hitler, and it's just like, can we just like set that other things besides Hitler happened?
Yeah. Unless it's more to do with I mean, if you really want to bring Hitler into it, you could say it was what was it, the Queen's uncle when he abdicated.
Oh, it could be.
Yeah, but the ram, who's that?
Well, they're saying the ram is Hitler because he's an Aries, born April the 20th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. I'll grant them that.
Yeah, I don't think it's. And then he's on about. So he says, Muslim Emperor Suleiman the Magnificent and Mongol leader Genghis Khan were both red-haired, blue-eyed Caucasians, who are also part of the royal bloodline on the world's royal throne. Like what?
One of the reasons they say it's you can't have depictions of Muhammad is because blue eyes and he was a ginger, and a lot of Arabs don't have blue eyes nor ginger hair. In fact, I would go so far as to say no Arab has ginger hair or blue eyes.
How about this one then, Hobbit? I think this is 1945, but for some reason he thinks this is in the 1880s. So, new laws will overtake the newly occupied land around Syria, Judea and Palestine. The great empire corrupted by barbarians. This is before the moon ends her cycle. I think this is about the terrorism around the time of the hotel bombing. Was it the King David Hotel?
Yeah, because I mean, there wasn't really what was going on in the 1880s. I mean, there was the Civil War in America.
So he thinks it's to do with the Russian Jews apparently arrived in the Middle East in the 1880s, funded by the Rothschild family.
Yeah, there was a lot of immigration into Palestine in the latter 19th century.
Yeah.
It was probably not helped by there were pogroms done by the Cossacks and others.
That's what he's saying the explanation for it. But I think it's more like the 1940s than it is the before that.
Right, which stanza is this?
So it's 397.
All right, let's scroll down to 397. So, new laws will overtake the newly occupied land. I don't know much about new laws written into Palestine at the time, so I wouldn't know about that. Around Syria, Judea, and Palestine.
Because I'd say it's the 1940s because that's when they drove us out, and then you get the Balfour Declaration, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a look. When is Ottoman Empire? I want to see the extent of it.
Well, they did own Palestine, yeah.
Oh, so the Ottoman Empire in 1914, Syria, Palestine, Jordan. That was all Ottoman Empire. It's all the west coast of the Arabian Peninsula as well.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Like the desert, they don't care about, but from Mecca to Medina, it's all.
Yeah. So this says around Syria, Judea, and Palestine.
Yeah, so maybe there were new laws enacted in the Ottoman Empire that did stuff in that region.
But I'd say it's more likely to be kind of post-war, isn't it?
Well, again, what was happening in the Ottoman Empire in the 1880s? Let me just have a look. If I go 19...
But he's also saying it's to do with the Rusat moon cycle, whatever that is.
I don't know. You'd have to ask Jews about moon cycles. Yeah. They have a lunar calendar. Mm. Well, the Ottoman Empire entered a period of decline after the death of Suleiman the Magnificent, and modern academic posits that the empire continued to maintain a flexible and strong economy, blah, 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 to much of the 18th century. Now, the Ottomans constantly suffered severe military defeats in the late 18th and early 19th centuries, culminating in loss of both territory and global prestige. This prompted a comprehensive process of reform modernization known as Tanzimat over the course of the 19th century. The Ottoman state became vastly more powerful and organised internally, despite suffering further territorial losses, especially in the Balkans, where a number of new states emerged. Beginning in the late 19th century, various Ottoman intellectuals sought to further liberalise society and politics on European lines, culminating in the Young Turk Revolution of 1908. But what happened in 1880? Was there anything which significant that's mentioned in this? Because, all right, history, there we go. 1690 onwards, the gradual weakening of the Ottoman Empire gave rise to the Eastern Question in the mid-19th century. In diplomatic history, the Eastern Question was the issue of political and economic instability in the Ottoman Empire and the subsequent strategic competition. Right. Oh, so the Eastern Question is kind of like a precursor to other questions in history.
Do you know Bomber Harris made it into Nostradamus?
Oh, yeah.
Quatrain 5-8. There will be loosed in instantaneous fire, death contained, within cylinders of dreadful horror. During the night, a classical city is pounded to dust, the city in flames being favourable to the enemy.
Dresden, then.
It's got to be, isn't it? I can't think of anything else.
Mule kicks for Dreszy.
And then they're going to Hiroshima and stuff. I think that's that's Dresden. That's Dresden, that is, isn't it?
So, let's have a look in chapter 4. See if there's anything interesting in there. Due to many letters condemning the work of astrologers, they will be reproved by the ignorant reality. Let's try that again. Bit of rum, you see. Due to many letters condemning the work of astrologers, they will be reproved by ignorant royalty, punished by edict, chased down like criminals. This is Quatrain 418.
Okay.
They will be reproved by ignorant royalty, punished by edict, chased down like criminals, and put to death wherever they are found.
That's
Did we have
Protestants?
Protestants began a purge of astrologers by the reign of King Henry
Again,
IV.
this one could be anything. It could be Henry VIII. Could be Henry,
but
Henry VIII and the.
But under the reign of King Henry
Go on then.
So, under the reign of King Henry IV of France, the Protestants began the purge of astrologers. I didn't know France had Protestants. King Henry IV France. Let's have a look at that. I just want to know a bit more.
The work of astrologers. Okay. Then.
The first Bourbon of France.
Is that definitely what Le Fate Celestes means? Is it? Celeste obviously relates to the celestial, does it?
Hang on. This a bit. De plus lettres dessus des fêtes célestes. Oh, so, yeah, I mean, Celeste is a fancy oldie world way of saying astrologer, mystic megs and such.
Does fate literally mean fate in that then? Fate Celeste, the fate of the cosmos, so would be astrologer.
Oh yeah, the celestial fates.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah.
Yeah. Seront par prince ignorant reprouvés. Well, Protestants are an ignorant bunch. That's why we have arguments with them when I just wish they'd be Catholic. You don't have to have an argument. You can just be Catholic, but no. Apparently, the only way to protest against the Jesuit Pope is by being a Protestant and spitting on the statue of Mary. Apparently, so King Henry IV was 1589
You read 433. The explanation sounds like crap to me. In December 2008, photos of the startling Venus-Jupiter moon conjunction were published in newspapers and magazines all over the world. Okay, yeah, we got that. Millions of people marvelled at this rare celestial event, but few understood its astrological significance. On December the 29th, 2008, the obstinate tribe, Jews, officially declared war on the Canaanites, the Arabs, for the first time in 3,000 years. So, the Jews started fighting the Arabs, first of all, in 2008. Is that what they're seriously trying to suggest?
I don't know. I must admit, I'm sorry to the audience. I'm having a hard time. Like, I read this stuff, and then I go. I mean, one could argue like, you're just thick, Hobbit. That's why you don't know. But I don't get this stuff.
But it's so open, though, isn't it? That's. I think it's probably why it's like an enduring mystery, isn't it? It's like the what's his name? The
interpretations people put in is interesting.
Yeah, I mean you can put whatever you want. Some of these are pretty specific, but some of them are that open ended that you could kind of say anything.
Oh, you know, like
AlphaGo says, "I've come to give you 6 listeners."
Thank you very much.
Yeah, did a bit of Nostradamus on my ex. I will share. Bear with me. AlphaGo says I can't post it, but will in bits.
Good stuff.
I'll give you a.
Do you know what the interesting thing about that? They're talking about the 2008 conjunction. Well, in 2012, we had a massive conjunction. It was like all the planets. Like, in fact, let me have a look. See, 2012.
I've just made you a standard moderator. You can chuck links in if you want to.
Oh yeah, because you have to be a moderator in order to post links. 2012, Great Conjunction. Jupiter and Saturn's Great Conjunction. The Great Conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. Skywatch. No, this is from NASA.
Yeah.
Never a straight answer. Skywatchers are in for an end-of-year treat where what has become known popular as the Christmas star is an especially vibrant planetary conjunction, easily visible in the evening sky.
And diverse.
Yeah. It's an easily visible in the evening sky over the next 2 weeks as the bright planets Jupiter and Saturn come together, culminating on the night of the 21st of December. They say Deck 21 because Americans have an aversion to spelling out names fully.
What do you think to the translation of that last line for that 433? Like, where has he got the Jews versus the... Where has he got the obstinate tribe and the Canaanites from?
So, 433, des Mars frappés à part la grave branche. Well, to me, that would suggest the Mars, so Martians or Martial people, à part la grave. So the Martians hit and leave the grave branch. Grave, I think, like that means gravely, if like gravely wounded. Posh.
What would that be?
Oh,
so why are they reading that as obstinate then?
Right. Yeah, so
do you think they're accurately translating that last line then?
Look, my old French isn't that good, but I can understand them saying branche as a sect because it's like, it's a branch. It branches off. It's a sect. Grave meaning obstinate. I mean, unless somebody in the chat can say, "Oh, actually, no." You know what? I will put in this. And then you can read it yourself. And if you're an expert of Old French, can you tell me what a better definition of the word "clavier" means? Because as far as I know, it means to sorely wound.
Oh, Donald Trump's watching us. Official Donald Trump. So it's got to be Donald Trump because it says official Donald Trump.
Yeah, official Donald Trump also likes my fire videos. He says I make the best fire videos. No one makes fire videos like me.
Beautiful.
They're great.
Beautiful fire videos.
I would vote for you if I could. However, Kamala Harris and Keir Starmer have conspired to prevent me voting in the US elections this year.
Yeah.
So, Unless we got anything more to say about that one, I'm willing to move on to the next
Do you want to do
quatrain.
448? Here you go. This is right up your alley.
Yes.
It's about wine.
The plain of Osnun, wide and fertile, will produce flies as big as grasshoppers. The clear sun will be obscured by clouds of insects, everything devoured, a great pestilence coming upon them. Flies as big as grasshoppers could refer to cicadias, which come out like every so often.
Yeah.
And when they do come out, they do blot out the sun. I think that happened, was it last year in America? Like, they got these cicadias which come out every 17 years, and they were massive, and they were swarming everything back then.
You're going to love the explanation for this. I've got to hear you.
Do you know, the weird thing is, I grew up with cicadas always in the background, because in France they're active year round.
They are the most annoying insect.
But I never ever saw one ever when I was there. I don't get it. It's just like
Schrödinger cicada.
yeah, it's just like you hear them, but you never see them. Oh, also my new screen's turned off. It'll turn back on in a few seconds, but there was something in the manual saying, "Oh, in order to prevent screen burning, occasionally the pixels shift around." But what they didn't say is like, yeah, occasionally your monitor will just switch off, and no, it's still on because I'm using it as a USB hub. You see, so I've still got access.
So your display's turned off in a minute.
Yeah, well, it does this thing like every 4 hours.
I'll read out the explanation, Hobbit. You are going to give out probably an audible groan about halfway through this explanation. The wine growers of southwestern France will desperately attempt to irrigate their grapevines to protect them from drying up in the red-hot blazing sun caused by global warming. Their unorthodox watering solutions will produce a plague of flying insects that will bring pestilence upon the Bordeaux region of France.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
That's even less plausible than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it'd be like, oh,
where did he get half of that from?
When they water the ground, the cicadas will come up and they will be really noisy, and people will go, "God, are the cicadas noisy? I better go to the cafe and get myself."
Are they big eaters, cicadas? Are they like grasshoppers?
Again, I've never seen one. I've always heard them, but never seen them.
So this is weird. So I don't know that one, but like I really don't buy that it's global warming.
I mean, the thing which is far more biblical is when you get plagues of locusts, because locusts are a strange thing. They actually change colour and behaviour, and they start swarming and just devour everything.
Yeah.
Oh, monitor hasn't turned, but it's still on though. I know it's on because again, I'm able to use my mouse and keyboard. But
this is a weird one. Okay, we've got another weird one here.
Okay, it's going to be off for 15 minutes then. Great.
Are you rethinking the OLED?
AlphaGo says grasshoppers are locusts.
Yeah, I thought that they're the same sort of thing, aren't they?
Well, I thought locust was different.
Fishes of
grasshopper.
Steel submarines. Where do we read Fishes of Steel, Hobbit?
No, I think Craig has just said that. Just sort of read out the bit about Fishes of Steel.
Oh, okay. 454. Of a name not ever in the future held by a French king, never again a destroyer so fearful. He will shake up the Italians, the Spanish, and the English. But to a foreign woman, he is greatly attentive. So I think this is Napoleon.
Oh, AlphaGo wrote the thing here. It says, the quote is, "A great war shall burst forth from the Fishes of Steel. Machines of flying fire, lobsters, grasshoppers, mosquitoes. The mass attack shall be repulsed in the woods."
Okay, then. From Fishes of Steel, machines of flying fire, lobsters, grass.
Nostradamus said, "I'll be the next president of the US. He said I'm incredible. Nobody does presenting like I do. Presidenting like I do. I'm the best president. You know, make presidential nominees great again. I'm great. You know what? I believe it.
The
Yep.
Fishes of Steel thing, that sounds like some sort of like AI robot war, doesn't it? Machines of
Does
flying
it mean
fire.
missiles? Missiles. He's on about missiles, right?
Oh
Fishes,
fuck!
they look like fish.
Speaking of missiles, did anybody see the Iranian attack on Israel, where that bloke got squished by a bit of rocket debris?
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Fucking poor cunt stood in the street, just getting splattered.
Oh, you'll never guess what happened to me, Mum. If you say you got hit by a missile, that's it. You ain't coming here. Oh well, I can't because I'm dead. I'm dead, Mum.
Okay. Oh, this one sounds a bit grim. So 456. After the victory of his raving speech, his spirit quickly becomes tranquil and reposed, victoriously celebrating with conflicting harangue while roasting the tongue and the flesh and the bones. This is General Buck Naked, isn't it? I bet. Did Nostradamus predict General Buck Naked?
I wish I had a magic 8 ball to shake so it could say signs point to yes. Because
Oh,
look,
so they're
I
saying
need-
the roasting the tongue and the flesh and the bones is from Auschwitz.
oh yeah.
Well,
Well, I remember now, guys. There was this thing that happened a few decades ago called foot and mouth disease. And when it happened, the cow and sheep stocks of the UK had to be slaughtered. Well, they didn't have to be slaughtered, but they decided, right, all of them dying. And they were saying about the great difficulties they're having in burning all the corpses. And my dad said to me at the time, and I wanted to groan, saying, "Oh, it's criminal that Germany won't share the secrets of their ovens, which would, efficiently cook bodies and leave no traces. They should share that as for the public good." Because Germans have got secret ovens that cook like animals completely, and you don't need to use any fuel. Germans used free energy to completely burn corpses in ovens.
do you know the
that's
government? The government literally say that they ground source heat pumps use they give out 3 times more energy than they take in.
It's one of those sort of journalist or politician things where they get the wrong end of the stick, and I think they actually had to retract that story later, saying, "Oh no, we're not saying that a ground source heat pump is an over unity device. What we're saying is that compared to the cost of electricity, if you just use that to heat some coils, it's 3 times as efficient as that. Because instead of heating coils, you're pumping." You're doing refrigeration in reverse, basically. You're getting all that heat from down there, and you're concentrating it. Heat pumps are great. They really are good for moving heat around. That's why we all have refrigerators, because they're that good.
How about this one? No one's going to have the answer to this one. Listen to this one then. Nostradamus Quatrain 471. In the presence of the wife, the daughters are killed, murdered in a great sin that shall never be forgiven. In the well, the girls are deliberately drowned, and the wife, her life extinguished by drinking poison.
Excuse me.
So, no one's going to know what that one is, but someone out there, Nostradamus is onto you, bitch. Nostradamus has got your number, and he's going to get you in this life or the next. Oh, God. Battle of Moscow. What's this one?
That's really annoying.
Oh, how about this
My
one?
monitor's
This is weird. So try this one. So 496. The elder sister from the British Isles, 15 years before her brother shall be born. Because of her promised method of establishment, she will succeed as a nation of equality. That's weird, isn't it? I've literally blown Hobbit's mind there. What else have we got? Where's Hobbit gone? Has he fucking disappeared again?
These riveting quatrains are.
They are a bit,
Yeah.
aren't they?
A bit dry. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, he's disappeared. Oh, he's back.
Oh, is he having some issues?
He's having technical difficulties, I believe.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Could this be? How long was the Queen after Philip died?
What do you
She
mean?
weren't that.
The Queen.
Yeah, sorry.
She
How
was,
long did the Queen before she died? Because this
few
one.
years, wasn't it? 2 or 3 years, 4
Ah,
years.
right.
Maybe?
Okay. So I wondered if this was the Queen.
Most.
663. The lady alone remains to rule the nation. A uniquely experienced leader in a seat of honour. For 7 years, she would work through her anguish, then living long enough to see her nation's greatest hour.
Right.
So they're saying that this could be Catherine de Medici during her long reign as Queen of France.
Could be. I mean, well, long reign after the king had died.
Yeah. The lady alone remains to rule the nation. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. What else have we got?
I mean, that could be any royal fucking.
Hey, I think what's his name? I think this is one for the current government. Nostradamus quatrain 6101. The law against inept critics. Let he who reads these verses consider carefully. Evildoers and idiots be not interested. Seers, flawed astrologers,
Hello?
barbarians stay away.
Hello?
We can hear you now. Where you been?
Oh, right. That was really annoying because, you know, when your microphone's working, you get a ring around your avatar.
Yeah.
And I could hear both you and Fraser saying, "Is Hobbit there?" And it's like, "Yes, I am. Hello, 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 hello." And then I disconnected and reconnected, and it was just like I couldn't hear your voice, and I thought, "I'll sod this. I'll just restart." I wrote in the YouTube. I'm not sure if my comments came through. Technical issues. Please stand by.
Yeah. Have you seen any more interesting ones?
Nostradamus predicted this. A man named Oliver said he mentioned you. He mentioned me, and yes.
Yeah.
Any of this shit. Dom's a real skeptic on this one, isn't he? Any of this shit can be true given time. Cults make the mistake of giving specific dates to events. Fucking hell.
I think that's what the staying power of Nostradamus is. He didn't. Well, except for the 66 bit.
And Histler, a cloister. When he keeps talking about cloister all the time.
Napoleon held the title First Consul, a title never held in future by a French king. His name is taken from the Greek Napoleon, which means the destroyer. Really? After becoming the Emperor of France, Napoleon would conquer more land, kill more people, create... Oh, yeah, because Apollyon is like the Greek thing of death.
Sun, is it Apollyon, no?
No, Apollyon is... I think it's like the Greek version of the devil.
Are we missing some stuff here? Because he seems to pull some weird stuff out of his arse on this. When he starts talking about the Canaanites and the Jews and stuff like that, when they're not even mentioned in the quatrain.
Again, these interpretations are bad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what is the Apollyon? There's several names in the Bible for Satan as minors. One of them is Apollyon, which refers to Satan or to a high-ranking demon. The name Apollyon is the Greek for Abaddon, meaning destroyer.
Yeah, okay.
So Napoleon is Abaddon. So what is the real name of it? Because he was a Corsican, and I just thought, Napoleon, that's just a Corsican name. So Napoleon Bonaparte.
You see, he's making stuff up in some of these. Nostradamus quatrain 844. The natural offspring of the religious dogma of 7 leads to an altered path. He's added urban in there in brackets, even though it's not in there.
So just for like the sake of my autism, Napoleon was born Napoleone di Buonaparte. So a Corsican name, or an Italian name, one could argue. But then again, Corsica was Italian for a long time, and that's why they got these names.
What a minute. How about this? 857 Hobbit. From a simple soldier.
You're on chapter 8.
Yeah. I haven't found any that interesting in between, to be honest. From a simple soldier, he shall obtain an empire. From the short courtier's robes, he will obtain the long. Forceful at arms and increasingly harsh upon the church. Vexing the priests, absorbing the booty like a sponge.
The booty? Is he on about
gold? I think he means booty as in treasure, but it does make me laugh.
Yeah.
he's mopping that booty up like a sponge.
Dirty old back, Gauger. Fucking hell.
Hold on. Shall I have a look through the book? Because we got some... do you want to do some Twin Towers?
Well, here's one which is a bit more accurate. Yeah. Selim II, at peace with the monarchy of Italy. He doesn't put Selim II here. So the original French says, Selim, monarque de l'Italie pacifique, his realm united with the king of the Christian world.
The Pacific. So is that saying he's the...
No, not the Pacific. It means like Pacific is in pacified. Renes unis roi chrétien du monde. So you're talking about his realm united the king of Christian world. That translation's accurate enough. Dying, he will wish to rest on blessed soil. Mourant voudra coucher en terre blessique. Yeah, I mean that's the old way of saying it. After having chased the pirates from the sea, après pirater, avoir chassé les ondes. Yeah, so in this quatrain, Nostradamus tells us that the Ottoman Sultan, Selim II, after ending Arab piracy in the Mediterranean Sea and making peace with the Christian world, is entombed within the blessed walls of the Cathedral of St. Sophia, where his mausoleum still stands today. Can I just say that rum is a really good, it doesn't give me heartburn like wine does. Really good. Thoroughly recommend rum. Now, Nostradamus quatrain 496. The elder sister from the British Isles, la sœur ancienne de l'îles Britanniques, 15 years before a brother shall be born. 15 ans devant les frères aura naissance.
I don't know that one, the 15 years before her brother's born. I don't get that one.
Because of her promised method of establishment,
we apologise for the strangled franglais intermission.
Par son promise moyenante vérifique, she will succeed as a nation of equality. Succédera au règne de balance. Well, a nation of equality doesn't mean a règne de balance, does it?
I think the fact is with a lot of this stuff, he knew what he meant by it, but we don't. I think that's the problem.
How the fuck do you get from this? The elder sister of the British Isles, 15 years before a brother shall be born, because of a promised method of establishment, she will succeed as a nation of equality. So Nostradamus describes for us the birth of the United States of America in 1776. America was born 15 years before her younger brother nation of France, born in 1791. Unlike France, the United States of America was established as a nation under God, granted all its citizens.
France wasn't born; it was reborn in 15 years.
Yeah,
before,
I think it was called the Third Republic or the First Republic. I can't remember. With those rights being Thomas Jefferson was shocked when he travelled to France to discover that the French had failed to include God in their national charter. He was shocked about that, but I think it's worth reading what Thomas Jefferson had to say about Haiti. He sided with the French on that.
Nostradamus knew that jet fuel can melt steel beams. Are you ready for it?
Yeah, go for it.
Earth shaking, a fire from the centre of the earth will shake the towers of the new city. As a result, two great rocks will fight a long war until Arethusian springs bloody the river afresh.
Ah, how prophetic and so accurate and so easily interpreted. And not subject to...
Jet fuel can melt steel beams.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Nostradamus predicted this.
Predicted jet fuel melting steel beams.
Oh, yeah, we said the bit of cylinders a dreadful horror.
No, that was Dresden.
Yeah, the cylinder's a great horror. That's yeah.
How about this one then? So this is another one that apparently predicts Twin Towers. The world's garden near the Yanu city, in the roadway, hollow mountains. They will be seized and plunged into the sewers. People will be forced to drink the sulfur-poisoned waters.
Sorry, mate. That doesn't say anything to me.
Yeah, it is a bit. Sulfur-poisoned waters? Was the water poisoned in New York?
Sorry, mate. You're grasping at straws there, as
Yeah.
was Nostradamus. Yeah, I think I might. I'm going to be the Ian of this episode and say, yeah, it was a bit shit, really.
Yeah.
If Ian was here, he'd say that was an excellent Jimmy Tarbuck impression or something.
See, I
Or
don't
some
get
other
this.
70s.
Okay, so this is supposed to be the US-Iraq War too. The contrivance of flying fire will come to trouble the besieged leader. Inside there will be so much sedition that the corrupt ones will despair. I don't think the corrupt ones really despaired of Iraq War 2, did they? I think the corrupt ones did all right out of Iraq War 2, didn't they?
Yeah, pretty much.
I really struggle with this translation, right? And I'm going to look like actually at the proper dictionary of here because I don't think this is correct, right? La liberté ne sera récupérée. The freedom
Dom's off again. I don't blame Nostradamus for his predictions. It's the historians trying to make the shoe fit. Getting Facebook likes from their academic peers for their work. Yeah, this is the thing that I say. Like the thing is, he knew what he was talking about, but he didn't see fit to explain to anyone, did he?
Yeah. And I think what it was like, I'm just going to make a bunch of vague stuff and then people go, oh, it's so mysterious. Oh, I think I know what this means. Yeah. It was bullshit merchant. But here we go. Here's one, right? La liberté ne sera récupérée. Freedom shall not be recovered. Il est récupéré non fier vilain inique.
Does this predict the death of John Paul II to you, Hobbit? The celibate Pole will die in 3 places in Rome. The next 2 flee the oppressive monster, because Mars will occupy the papal throne. For the cock and the eagle of France, 3 brothers.
I mean, what's that supposed to mean?
What does it even mean? Jesus Christ.
I'm trying to read any of these and just see, like, oh yeah, this one speaks to me. I understand this one.
Okay, this is supposed to be the New Orleans floods. The great city will be laid to waste. Not even one inhabitant will remain. Walls, women, churches, and virgins are violated. People will die by knife, fire, plague, and gunshot. Do you really die by fire in a flood?
Unless it's a fire of napalm, a flood of napalm.
He had to write in a sort of
Could
code
be.
to not be accused of sorcery.
Yeah,
But then it's not it's not helping anybody, is it?
it's vague as fuck.
He
Like,
had to write in a code so that people will just go, oh, this isn't bullshit. Right, it's like when people go to a modern art gallery, which is, by the way, money laundering, and they go, oh, it's so brave and provocative. It's like, no, it's a banana duct taped to a piece of canvas. Oh, you don't get art.
But
No,
one,
you
this
don't
one doesn't
get.
even
You're
make
a monk.
sense. A German heart is born of Trojan blood. He will wield such power that he will chase away the foreign Arabs, returning the church to immaculate preeminence. Well, after Benedict XVI left, like the church was in a worse place because you got the current pope.
Mm.
Like a lot of these,
And there was
they're really
no
stretching
chasing of
out.
Arabs, was it? I mean, here's one, right? I mean, everybody can relate to this one, right? There will be an adventure of Montgolfier and Aventin, who, through a looking glass, will advise the army. Entering 2 stone churches, they will seize the bounty of Pope Pius VI, The +1 falling from power.
So that's got to be looking through.
Except
That's got to be looking through a TV screen, hasn't it?
Except the thing is, right? Like, I'll read the two lines in the old French here. So, entering Two Stone Church, it says, "Entre deux rocs, sera prince la butine." Well, look, butine I know means loot or booty in this case. Yeah, the booty, la butine. But entre deux rocks, I mean, rocks means like in between two rocks. It doesn't mean because like the word for church is église, and I've never heard an église referred to. I've heard église, la petite église for a chapel, and cathédrale, but I've never heard rocks. Nobody has ever referred to a Christian establishment as les rocks. And I'm really hoping like some Frenchman will be like, "Oh, actually, Hobbit, it is an old archaic word. We don't use it anymore." Please, if you are an expert in Old French, please tell me what like ROCZ rocks. Anyway, next line. De sexte mansol fallir le renommer. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't know enough about French to say what that is, but de sexte, okay, de sexte that means the six. Mansol fallir. Mansol, no idea what that means. Fallir. Fallir means to fail. Le renommé. I don't know what le renommé means.
Okay,
Renown?
okay, Hobbit. Here we go. This is predicting Princess Diana and Dodi Fayed. Despite all the money of Diana and Mercury, their empty shadows will be found at the lake. For the potter in search of new clay, he and his people will be drenched with gold.
All right.
What's that going to do with
okay.
a car crash?
Wow. You know that's but this explanation here is a bit of a stretch, but it kind of makes sense, right? So do you want to hear the explanation for one I read out?
Go on then.
This is another example of Nostradamus using real names in his prophecies. In this poem, he names Montgolfier, inventor of the hot air balloon, who used this balloon to spy upon enemy movements from the Battle of Fleurus in Belgium on the 26th of June 1794. The French won the great victory over the Austrians and were able to sack the booty of local churches to finance Napoleon's wars. Pope Pius VI was eventually arrested by Napoleon and died in custody. Right.
How about this one then, Hobbit? Gold and silver are fused by the ark's devastating power. The one is cannibalized by the other. The leader of the city is stretched when the fleet travels underwater. I don't get the third line, but that's about nuclear power, isn't it? If he's talking about the ark.
Is it?
Because people think that the ark is some sort of nuclear device, don't they?
I'm sorry, I just get too caught up in the idea that you mix gold and silver together and won't be consumed by the other. And I'm sorry to be autistic about this, but I'm greatly interested in the alloy known as electrum, which is an alloy of gold and silver.
Yeah.
And one is not consumed by the other. I mean, you can say electrum
fused.
looks gold.
Gold and silver are fused by the ark's devastating power.
But didn't you say one would be consumed by the other?
Yeah, second line. One is cannibalized by the other.
They're not.
Is that not talking about some sort of nuclear process?
Well,
I don't get the gold and silver though. Like you say, the gold and silver part is like, and the leader of the city is stretched.
Again, it's too vague for me to say like, oh, here's what he's talking about. Did it come with a footnote saying, oh, he's referring to da 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 da?
Okay, I'll read the guys. This is from the book I'm reading. Nostradamus.
Oh, here we go. Hang on.
By Mario
Wait a minute.
Redding.
Just a second. Interdimensionalism got a good explanation. Gold and silver fused together is a prediction of the new pound coin. What about the £2 coin?
What ark's devastating power?
No, the gold and silver fused together. The £2 coin was well, it wasn't the first because the French had I think was it the French or the Belgians had a bimetallic a 10 franc coin.
Yeah,
I think it might be the French.
I've seen a coin like that way before the £2 coin, the pound coin.
Yeah. Well, the £2
So
coin was like.
so the two lines that make sense here is like, so forget gold and silver, the Ark's devastating power, and then the fleet travels underwater. So that sounds like nuclear, doesn't it? With nuclear submarines.
And the Ark's devastating power.
Yeah, being
that's nuclear, isn't it? Yeah.
So AlphaGo's got. Oh, it's a YouTube video.
Well,
Ty
hold
Bath
on,
was
no,
his
wait,
2 medals.
hold on. Like the Ark is supposed to be like, wasn't that the thing they used to destroy the walls of Jericho?
No, that was trumpets.
No, it's trumpets.
Okay, I thought that was there at Jericho.
We did one of the early episodes of 14 Words was about Coral Castle, and we also mentioned about the walls of Jericho being trumpets used to sound them down. And Coral Castle was built by one man using trumpets, which an eyewitness was a boy who said it looked like he was holding 2 ice cream cones to his mouth.
Prediction of Chernobyl, Nico says.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, he would have had to have known that we would know what the Ark is supposed to be, right? That's the only problem.
Well, I think the problem with a lot of Nostradamus' things is, like I said before, like he knows what he's talking about, but we don't. To him, those quatrains make perfect sense, and I think that is the problem with a lot of Nostradamus.
Well, here's one which is easier to understand. This is quatrain 6-5. So great a famine due to uncontrollable weather, through incessant rain from an expanding Arctic pole, spreading over 100 places in the brackets northern hemisphere. Well, actually, it says here, Saint-Marbourien Saint Louis l'Hémisphère. He doesn't mention northern hemisphere, where they shall live without laws or government, vivront sans loi exempte politique. Now, the explanation here was it was known as the year without a summer and was the most unusual weather occurrence ever recorded in history. In 1815, the Mount Tambora volcano in Dutch East Indies exploded and produced a massive cloud of volcanic ash that spread over the northern hemisphere of the globe, causing winds
Dom's
like...
got a new theory, Hobbit. He thinks Nostradamus secretly discovered meth and tried to use it as his superpower.
Famine spread over Europe, causing food riots. The army of France suffered a shortage of supplies and was severely weakened due to a lack of food. Possible. I think there is a plant-based source where you can get ephedrine, and from ephedrine you can make amphetamine and methamphetamine. Yeah, it would have been possible, although I don't think it was officially discovered until the
How about
early
this one then? How about this one?
20th century.
From where they thought famine would come, comes relief. The eyes of the sea are like a greedy dog's. One eye will provide oil, the other wheat.
Sorry. No.
That could be anything.
Yeah.
I think it's famine relief. Like the eyes of the sea are like greedy dogs, like a sea of Ethiopians, I'll say. But I don't get one eye will provide oil, the other wheat.
What famine would that be specifically?
One of the many hundreds of thousands of them.
That's what I mean.
Alpha's put his tweet thread in if anyone wants to have a look.
Yeah, I'll read that rather than reading these because I'm getting bored reading the quatrains of stuff.
Oh, here's his
Excuse me, sorry.
Great war shall burst forth from the fishes of steel. Machines of flying fire, lobsters, grasshoppers, mosquitoes. The mass attacks shall be repulsed in the woods, when no child in Germany shall obey any longer. Lobsters, grasshoppers, mosquitoes. I mean, it could be World War II, but it seems more technological than that, doesn't it? Like something in the future, maybe.
I don't know.
Has he gone again?
I think he might have.
How about this one? Hillary Clinton. Nostradamus had evidence that could lead to the arrest and imprisonment of Hillary Clinton. The masculine woman will exert herself to the north. She will annoy nearly all of Europe and the rest of the world. 2 failures will put her in such imbalance that both life and death will strengthen Eastern Europe. No, I don't think that's...
Well,
Who was Nostradamus?
That could be Hillary Clinton.
Could be.
Could be.
It could even be Maggie Thatcher, couldn't it?
It could be Theresa May.
I don't know, she's had more than 2 failures.
Yeah.
Craig Wilson says that's my wife. Could be anyone. Like you say,
that
could
could
be
any woman.
It could even be Merkel, couldn't it?
That's true, Merkel. Yeah, actually.
Yeah, she'll annoy nearly all of Europe. She'll pretty much piss off Europe, won't she?
Yeah, that's true.
Both life and death will
Merkel.
strengthen Eastern Europe. That's a weird one, that third line. I'll take it Hobbit. I'll take it Hobbit's internet's gone again, has it?
Lucky bastard.
Yeah. I'll wait till he comes back, then we're done. It's like ecological disasters too. So this apparently happened in 2016. In the place where Hero mourned, such a great and sudden flood will occur that there will be no land left to cling to. The waves will rise over Mount Olympus. That sounds more like a tsunami, doesn't it?
No, he's predicted Waterworld, the film with Kevin Costner.
Oh, can you imagine if it was?
Did Nostradamus watch
shit films? Yeah.
Did Nostradamus watch Waterworld in his head?
Well, how would he know that Waterworld wasn't actually a piece of fiction? He could just see a vision of the future and see Waterworld.
Kevin, it doesn't mention the handsome man with the gills, does it?
So what he's saying is Nostradamus was a time traveller, and all he did was like travel back to the 1990s and watch. Yeah.
Shall I grab a couple more and we'll see if we can figure out what film he'd watched?
What Plato's Cave was actually a cinema, and he didn't know he was in a cinema.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's flip. Try and find one that applies to a film. Oh, look, this might be Silence of the Lambs.
Well, you just did.
Well, we do some more. What the fuck? The young Nero, using 3 chimneys, will burn the living word in his ardour. Happy the person, far from such practices. 3 of his own blood will watch him die.
Ah. I know what he's talking about.
Hitler.
The rise and fall of piracy using CDs. Nero burning Rome.
Well, you wouldn't download a car, would you?
No. You wouldn't kill a policeman, shit in his helmet.
Is that the death of Napster then, or something like?
Death of Napster. How about this one then? Foreigners far from Rome, their city will be damaged by rainfall. A girl from not that far away is taken by their leader, her old bond still in place. That's Double Dragon, isn't it? Is that Double Dragon? Where the bird gets punched at the start and then thrown over that geezer's shoulder?
I was about to say...
Isn't that like Taken from fucking...
Taken. I've got a particular set of skills. Divinity.
Yeah.
Oh, how about this one then? 2 revolutions, thanks to the cunning scythe bearer. Kingdoms will alter in the new century. Libra will move into its house, and both sides are well balanced. That's Star Wars, isn't it? Scythe bearer, lightsaber. Both sides are well balanced, but balance brought back to the Force.
Yeah, maybe. Oh God, you watched the fucking. he watched. Was it The Last Jedi? Yeah, whatever it is. Fucking.
This is like the LCA gossip. IMG. I don't have no idea what that LACA gossip. They will celebrate the unfortunate wedding with great joy, but it will have an unhappy end. Husband and mother will scorn the new bride. With Phoebus dead, the north has even worse fate. These just get weird.
Is that American Pie, the wedding?
American. Oh dear.
Prove me wrong.
You're gonna prove me wrong. American Pie, the wedding. Oh, I'm trying to find. I can't find any that are Pope. Oh yeah, this is what's the second Da Vinci Code one? Angels and demons. On the death of the very old Pope, a Roman in the prime of life will succeed him. It'll be said that he weakens the pontificate, that he will last long and cause acute damage. That's Angels and demons, isn't it?
Yeah.
Angels and demons, I think.
Aye, that is right. Yeah, this guy's just like time
Yeah,
travel to the future, watched a load of fucking classic films, and then like
yeah.
yeah, thought it was actual history.
Yeah. Where is Hobbit? What's going on? His internet's really shit tonight, isn't it? I think that new monitor's fucking his internet up. Hobbit, are you there? Hobbit, should you have a seance for Hobbit?
I'm here.
I thought we were going to have a seance to get you back.
No, you have to use the spirit box with just like various Hobbit interruptions. Guacamole.
I'm trying to find some more film references.
Let's get
Here we go.
Nostradamus to take
Omen
away
3. The third Antichrist will soon be annihilated. Its war will have lasted for 27 years. The heretics are dead, captive, or exiled. Human blood reddens the water that covers the earth in hail. I think that's Omen 3, isn't it?
That sounds like it, yeah.
By arcs of fire, pitch, and flame they are repulsed. Screams, cries, and shouts at midnight. They are launched from inside and smash defences. The traitors escape through their secret passages. Is that Lord of the Rings?
What, the Battle of Helm's Deep?
Yeah.
This one, he's talking about Scarface.
Yeah.
The one chased away will return to his realm. His enemies are found to be conspirators. More than ever, a time when he will triumph. The death of 73 is absolutely certain. I think Nostradamus lost count at the say hello to my little friend scene.
Yeah. Right, Hobbit's back, and it's 9:15, so are we done for another week?
I think so.
And what? No unexplained mysteries?
Oh, can do if you want to.
Well, we can save it for next week.
You'll have to do it because I need a wee.
Well, I was going to say save it for next week because I too need to drain
Have a
the
tinkle.
bishop.
Blizzard.
Hobbit, quick. Do a quatrain about Hemi and Hobbit needing a wee.
H and H need to relieve themselves. Great calamity will ensue. Gnashing of teeth will be done throughout the land. Pistler said, I predicted this.
Cloister.
Oh yeah, Clister.
Clister or cloister.
Yep, that's it.
Well, my leg's starting to jiggle now, so I really am going to have to go for a wee.
Jiggle.
Perfect expose on Nostradamus.
Yeah. Another one done. Another one bites another huge subject bites the dust.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Smashed it, yeah.
Yeah, smashed it out of the park. Let's check. I haven't checked to see if I've done the comments. But I don't know. Rumble's really slow tonight, and I don't know why.
It's not available in France.
Isn't it?
No. So they'll never get to hear about Nostradamus.
Oh no, their own man. They won't know about Clister or Cloister.
No.
Right, anyway, night all. I've got a jiggly leg.
Bye.
Bye.
Right, so that's